Want to do something random? How about letting a random number generator pick how many pages we read today? Is that random enough for you? Well, I sure do hope so, because that's what we're doing today. We are gonna let fate decide how many pages I read 3 different times. And each time, if I don't read all the pages that it tells me to consecutively is a key word here, then I'll have to add a penalty of 25 additional pages. Because guess what, little mama? I'm getting through this TBR. Do you remember that video? Because I remember that video. Or if I don't read all 10 books, you get $50 of my money. If I don't read those 10 books by the end of the year, I owe one of you $50. Not in this economy. I'm broke. So I'm reading. And I'm gonna get this done. You haven't met competitive Kalila. You're about to lock in and see. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry. I'm usually not this aggressive. That's a lie. I am this aggressive, but usually I'm not threatening you. Okay, that's also like, oh, sorry. All I'm saying is watch the video down below. It's linked down below. I have to read these 10 books by the end of the year. If I do not, I will pick a random comment for my first video, January 1st, and that person is getting $50 from me. We can't let that happen. Clearly we can't let that happen, so we're getting through this TBR. Now, if you remember from my 10 before the end video, the book that we picked out first was The Sea of Tranquility. So naturally, that's what we're reading today, babes. I'm locked in. I ain't never been this locked in my life. Y'all think y'all getting money from me? Think again. Now, The Sea of Tranquility is actually speculative fiction that spans centuries, all the way from 1912 with an exiled British man who is found in the Canadian wilderness, all the way to the 2400s, where there's an author who's doing a book tour on Earth from her home planet of the moon. Now, we watch as these seemingly random people get bisected by time and history by this random time anomaly of them hearing a man playing the violin, apparently, in an air terminal. Then we have this time detective, Gasberry, who is going back in time trying to investigate this anomaly and seeing how these seemingly random people are somehow intertwined. It's supposed to be a book about how history repeats itself and what it means to live in a world that's so chaotic and yet still has some type of symmetry. It sounds very interesting. I've never read a book with a synopsis like that, and I do love sci-fi, and this is definitely giving that. So I'm excited to get started. But first, can I show you what I got in the mail? Not to be dramatic, but I've literally been waiting for this package all week. My book of the month package. Ugh, I literally love working with them so much because I genuinely love this service. With book of the month, they have curators every single month finding books from authors we know and love, as well as authors we've never heard of, to give us the best books every single month. They have this incredible app that allows you to pick the books that you have, talk about your TBR, keep a list of your TBR, and make sure you stay on your reading goals. That is why this month I got my package and I'm super excited. First of all, this is the book that I'm most excited about. I got Light Breakers. This is a book about time travel and love. It's basically about this man who loses his daughter when she was 4 years old, and his wife, who also had like this love or fling situation back in her past, and it was never really resolved. So him being a physicist, when he gets the opportunity to discuss time travel and actually see if it's possible, he wants to use that opportunity to naturally see his daughter. So as you can see, this book is really about time, human connection, grief, and what it means to like move on after you've lost somebody. And I'm just super excited. This is literary fiction, but there's also hints of romance, and I feel like it's perfect for the fall season. But that's not all I got. I also got Cursed Daughters, and this is also about familial dynamics and grief, love, and loss, but it's in a very different way. This is about a young girl who was born the same day her cousin died, and so everyone in her family actually thinks that she's the reincarnation of that cousin. And they also have this family curse where no one can actually have long-lasting love. All the women in her family end up either being single or staying brokenhearted their entire lives, and she is determined when she finds love, she's like, that's not going to be me. So we get to watch her grow up, find love, see if this family curse is real, and see her grow as an individual in general. So I'm really excited about these two books. These are two books that obviously I would not have found on my own, and that is why I work with Book of the Month so often, because I genuinely love their service. If you want to find new authors that you've never heard of, or just have really good deals for books, make sure you use my link down below. And if you use my link, you get your first book for $9.99, and this is a hardcover book. They're usually like $30. Please. Do not waste this opportunity. All you have to do is use the code FEAST, and again, click that link. Thank you again, Book of the Month, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, the only thing that's left to do is pick how much we're gonna read for our first round. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I think the max number we should put is 100 pages because we're gonna do this 3 times, so we're probably gonna get a few high numbers. So I'm gonna put the maximum as 100 and the minimum as 0. All right, let's do this thing. 79! Dang, we could have started with 10, 20. 79. Whatever. Never back down, never what? I'm ready to go. The only issue is, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a safe space. I'm a little hungry. It's 8:30 p.m. 8:34 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner yet. You think little old me is just gonna start reading we haven't eaten? I don't think so. So what we're gonna do is it's chilly, it's cold, it's the first day of November. Actually, fun fact, today is the first day of November. I'm thinking we deserve a sweet treat. And when I say sweet treat, I mean ramen. And while we go, I'm gonna bring the book with me. You like that little spin? Okay, let me stop. I'm giving myself vertigo. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook while I'm there, but I have the physical book too because I want to be locked in. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna read for real, but I want to listen to it too because this sounds very interesting and I want to pay attention and I want to be able to eat my ramen without having to worry about like putting my food down and not ruining my books because you know I don't like ruining my books. So let's go. Y'all wouldn't know this, but I just performed a miracle in my car. This is the old car. My family took the other car to go to Fright Fest at Six Flags, and I had to back up in this car. No, I'm literally that girl. I had to back up in this car. There's no backup camera. This is why I knew Tokyo Drift. So I'm stuck in this corner. It's very hard. It's a very tight situation. I got it. No backup camera. Tell me I'm not that girl. Tell me I'm not that girl. So now we're parked. Now we have to go in and get some ramen. It's a little chilly outside and it's packed. I literally had to circle the block a few times to get this parking spot. That's why I'm not getting rid of it. Somebody just asked me for it and not today. It's me and Sea of Tranquility against the world. So let's go in there and read our 79 pages. So good, and I was gonna get ice cream after, but I'm so full I literally cannot eat a single nother thing. I forget how thick the ramen broth is, and I like to drink the broth, and there's nothing better than eating something hot when it's cold outside. So I eat all of it, and I simply cannot do anything else. But with regards to the book is getting really good. I got to page like 53, but I couldn't keep reading because it was hard to eat and read at the same time. I just don't really know what's going on yet. I met Edwin from 1912, and I'm currently in the 2020 era, but I'm still trying to put the pieces together and understand how they're correlated to each other. We've made it back home. We're warm, we're civilized. Now I will say, don't call me an overachiever, but I did make it to page 100 instead because it was the end of another chapter. So we read 21 extra pages, and so far we've been into 3 different centuries. We were in 1912, we were in 2020, and then we made it to 2401. And I don't know how they correlate still. I kind of understand like the anomaly, I just don't understand the importance of the anomaly and what it actually is. So we're still in like the questioning phase of the book, but I will say she's a weird time, but she's a good time. I'm really enjoying it. But now we need to do our second number generator and see how many pages we'll be reading this time. I'm predicting we'll be reading I'm feeling 52. I'm saying we're gonna be reading 52 pages. If I'm right, y'all better do the jackpot numbers with whatever numbers I say. 27! I like it, yeah. When I said 52, I meant half that and add a little some extra. Do we count the extra 21 pages that I read? Asking for a friend. Okay, fine. The book is good enough to where we can keep going. I don't mind continuing to read, but let's set the mood. Alright, 27 pages was pretty easy. So far, I still don't understand the mystery of this time anomaly, but I do have some further thoughts. For one, this isn't like a loud book. It's not like usual sci-fi books where they're trying to pull off something grandiose. Technically, it's a sci-fi book, but for me, what it really feels like is more about the human experience and what it means to be human. This book literally spans centuries, and yet we still see like the same thread of similarities throughout all the centuries outside of the time anomaly. So it's like familial dynamics, pandemics, the simulation theory, just being a person in general, existence, having to deal with work drama, family drama, not feeling like you belong, falling in love, falling out of love. And it's so funny how they're tackling these different situations in vastly different world systems. We go from 1912, where we as current humans have no idea what that life really was like, and then they go to 2020, which is something we can obviously very easily relate to. And then we go all the way to 2401, where we live on different planets. It's just so fascinating how even if you separate each other through time, there are still these things that tether us to each other. And I know that's like not the main point of the story. It is still some type of mystery here. I feel like that's the main takeaway I'm taking from it so far. That 27 pages was the easiest 27 pages ever. I just was so into the story. I actually read one more page than I needed to, only because I hate stopping in the middle of chapters. I don't know if it's just me, but like I simply cannot stop a book unless I finish that chapter. Like even if I need to go somewhere, if I'm doing something, I need to read to the end of the chapter just to scratch this itch in my brain and then to move forward. So far I've been reading more than I've actually needed to. So there's been penalties, but what are the rewards? Somebody let me know in the comments, because we haven't gotten one penalty, no one 25-page extra thing. I'm kind of killing it today. So let's roll our last roll of the day. I'm super excited. I actually really kind of want to finish this book, but I don't think we'll have time unless we get like 100 or something. So last time I was showing you what not to do when we were predicting, right? This time I'm being for real. This time I'm using my spidey senses. I'm saying this time we're gonna get 82. I love an even number. Okay, you ready? 82. 24. This might be the one challenge where I actually want like a big number. Can we do one more spin? Can we do one more spin? This is like cheating, but like in a good way. Let's do one more spin. If it's really bad though, if it's above 82, I might take this first number. I don't know. Let's see how I'm feeling. Are you ready? It's way past my bedtime, by the way. I'm gonna say it's 67. 41. I really want to finish this book. All right, we'll do 41 then, but let's get ready for bed. I know I'm literally always in sweatpants, but there's something about the winter when it's cold outside and you can put sweatpants on as pajamas. It's my favorite thing in the world. Hold on. Can't be showing y'all my goods now. Hold on. Ta-da! I do love some comfy pajamas. I like them better when they're matching, but listen, this is all I got. I do have a hoodie that matches this, but she got a little oil stain on her. What can I say? I am a foodie. So this is all we've got. Wait, you know what? No, let's not. I actually want some tea. The ramen was really good, and I know we were bloated before, but one thing I like before bed, before nap time, is some tea. So I'm gonna make some hibiscus tea. So we're gonna make some hibiscus tea. I always use the actual flowers because I'm fancy like that. I'm also on my period, so I'm gonna add some raspberry leaf tea because that's supposed to be really good for cramps, and I need the help. Okay, I want to read something to you. At this point, one of the main characters is talking about how we as humans kind of always obsess over post-apocalyptic timelines and stories. And so she says, this is the author, by the way, and my point is, there's always something. I think as a species, we have a desire to believe that we're living at the climax of the story. It's a kind of narcissism. We want to believe that we're uniquely important, that we're living at the end of history, that now, after all these millennia of false alarms, now is finally the worst that it has ever been. That finally we have reached the end of the world. But all of this raises an interesting question, Olive said. What if it always is the end of the world? Because we might reasonably think of the end of the world, Olive said, as a continuous and never-ending process. This book is so insane, but it's interesting because it's not one of those books that are loud and screaming at you to think about the world in one way. It's very subtle in the way that I'm taking gems from this book, and that line in particular, like that's the only thing that I highlighted. By the way, I definitely read the pages already. I actually read way more than I needed to because I just couldn't put the book down. It's not even like the plot is fast-paced and I need to pay attention. It's just I really want to know what's going on, and I love these different characters. They're so different. They're living in completely different worlds, and we're getting random snippets of their lives, but it still ties in enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of piecing things together, and yet I still don't know what's going on. So I actually ended up on page 189, and we're going to stop there. But wow, I am really enjoying this book so far. Thank you for so many people telling me I needed to read this because you know I'm loving sci-fi. And unfortunately, because we didn't finish the book in this video, I don't have a rating for it. I don't have the rest of my ideas for it or concepts or conclusions for this story. I just know I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it so much. I couldn't even put it down. And by the way, I never for a single round stopped reading continuously. I was reading the entire time. I did not touch my phone. I think this is the first challenge we've done in a very long time where I did not mess up a single time because this book was so good and it's so subtle. It's very, very subtle. You know what it feels like? It feels like Never Let Me Go, that book that I read with my book club this year, what that was supposed to be. That was subtle sci-fi, but it was just so subtle that you didn't feel anything. But this is subtle, speculative fiction, sci-fi, yes, but there's still a punch that you get. It still packs a punch. I'm still reeling by these like concepts, and I'm not even done with the book yet. So I'm really, really enjoying it. I love this challenge. I highly recommend you doing this challenge. I think I'm gonna finish this probably tomorrow on my own, and then I'll put my rating for it in Goodreads. If you follow my Goodreads, it's down below, or if you want to follow my Goodreads, it is down below. I am tired. It is currently...
It's 12:41 a.m. daylight saving time.
Oh, it's daylight savings now. That's crazy. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. This was a fun challenge. Let me know in the comments below if you would do this challenge. Let me know in the comments below if you read this and what you thought about it, because by the time this comes out, I'll definitely have finished it. All right. That's all from me. Love you guys. See you next time.